All right, and we are live. Hello, everyone. This is the NGDC joining again for one last time on Skype. For road is almost over in like 3 days or so. Yeah. Joining me again is going in random Skype order. Jenn.
I may be first. Well, wait a minute. I am first. Wow. I may be last. I may be last. I may be like absolutely jumbling up my words because I am tired AF right now. But I am first this time. And always. Jenn. Hello, Internet.
Hello, Jenn.
Hello,
Jenn,
Jenn.
Hey, Jenn.
Jenn, if it makes you feel better, it's a Friday Eve right now. About to be Friday.
It is indeed a Friday Eve.
Yippee!
Yay! Yay! We made it another week.
Let's go.
Sorry for you
just have to,
second
like,
day who
We just
don't
have
have
to
the...
make it through another day. We're just steadily crawling towards the finish line of the week.
As it starts to feel like.
Oh yeah.
It's been feeling like that for me for months.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then next up, Gator.
Okay, so, hello there, chaps. This is Gunmetal Gator here, just letting you all know. Things may be like on fire right now, but things can always be burned in a different set of ways. Like, say, burning a set of, like, ships, like in the Yellow River or something like that. Or maybe just launching blue flames with an interesting archer technique from India, and just burn the gods up above with said bow. So that's all I can say about, like, in terms of, like, knowing how to deal with, like, the raging fire that burns on the outsides of, like, our societies right now.
Yeah.
Anybody got marshmallows?
I have some marshmallows, Jen.
Wait, then all we can do is just toast marshmallows and make s'mores out of them.
Yay!
The s'mores are good, right?
Mm.
I like s'mores.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have exited peep season, though.
I still have a couple of left that I'm still microwaving and sandwiching between Kit Kats and other things. It seemed like I know.
I'm not even worried about Peeps. It's all about Cadbury. It's all about the Cadbury eggs. If I want to feel like, I don't know, like treating myself.
The caramel or the other regular kind?
Both. Both is good.
Next up, Wolfgang.
Hello, everypony. It is I, Wolfgang, or also Lola, because, god damn it, I've changed my fucking username for the third time on this podcast. Isn't that just a Wolfgang thing to do? Now, just one little regard here. Do you know that relationships exist? I'd like to forget that they do. Please just throw them all out the window. I would rather be single for the rest of my life. Anyways, unrelated. Hellava Boss just got a new deal. Everybody is raving about it. Skype is shutting down for some reason. Probably because Microsoft are fucking cheap bastards who need to get their next cash grab. But hey, that's just the theory. A Wolfgang theory. See ya.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was beautiful, Wolfie. I love it.
Thank you.
You can't hear it, but I'm applauding you right now.
Thank you.
And indeed, those young loves suck.
Love hurts. I don't even remember the rest of the words. Ugh.
That's been me for the past 5 days.
If you need a vent song, there's also Love Stinks.
Yeah,
Trust me, I already have too many.
There's also one
sort
called Love Bites.
Yeah, I'm sort of a different route of like the single but sort of looking thing. So that's the less direct pain and it's the more long extended melancholy.
I had that long extended melancholy last year, and now I have too many relationship issues. Last year I had too little. So now I just want to get away from it entirely. Just check the whole thing out the window.
Need to find
Well, here's something for y'all. You ever
Mhm.
see World's Greatest Dad, which a lot of people favor as the last great or at least really good Robin Williams movie?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, he was in The Butler after that, I guess, but World's Greatest Dad actually stars him. But yeah, without spoiling too much, it's a bit of a celebrity cults after the celebrity is dead kind of thing, with him as the accidental ringmaster of that. But yeah, one of his closing lines in the movie, having opened the movie with "I'm Lance Clayton, and my greatest fear is that I'm going to end up all alone." He goes out, well, sort of goes out with, "I used to think that the worst thing in life was to end up all alone. It's not. The worst thing in life is ending up with people who make you feel all alone."
Yeah, you know what? That's actually very accurate.
True that.
But going to the one in the group with probably the best relationship thing right now is second and
Best couple I know, I swear.
Yes.
Yippee!
No matter what the cynics say, there is a.
It's
there is
been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I learn to sing up high. Oh, wait, nobody's actually that.
Mhm.
I don't know, it still feels marker, doesn't it? Right, thank you. All right, I'm the second opinion, and for my critic first and a fan second. Somehow, yeah, I guess I did wind up with a really good long-term relationship. How did that happen? I don't know. Like,
Well, actually, you might be the most grown up out of all of us. You're the one who's married.
Yeah.
I love weddings.
Yeah, weddings are nice.
Yeah, I loved our wedding too. It was totally cheap. It was totally like cobbled together from substitute ingredients, and every second of it from the moment it started just felt like an absolute love is in the air.
And and that's the most important. That's the most important. There's way too many. I am now believing that the wedding industry and culture is like out of control.
Yeah, just see the videos online.
I mean, I was just here listening to a radio thing today when when a sports personality was talking about cutting down on his own daughter's wedding, and she's like, "I'm cutting your budget back down to 30K." And
30,000 is cutting it.
I'm like, what? And I'm like, wait a minute, wait. You mean like to have a basic wedding you have to put down 30K? What the heck? That's a down payment on a house.
I mean, I think they want people like us to think that the basic estimates for a wedding is like 10 to 15K.
Yeah, pretty much.
I kid you not. I don't even know if Daylover and I spent 1K on ours.
30K.
30K
is more of a down payment than the down payment we put on our house. It's actually more expensive than our house, and this was difficult to afford. How?
Which is absolutely ridiculous. I actually got a segment of like Say Yes to the Dress, and this. Oh man, I wanted to slap this woman here. She was like, okay, her mom was like, my budget is 3K for your wedding dress. Well, in my humble opinion, 3K is still too much for a freaking wedding dress. So what does this spoiled little princess do? Well, she comes out in a dress that is, for one thing, one of their best sellers that has been featured on the show about a dozen times, and it is at least a 10K ball gown.
$10,000.
I know.
Pay for this
Oh, it gets even worse. Oh, it gets even worse.
How?
Oh, here we go. It gets so much worse because she I had to laugh hysterical because this is like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. She tried on another dress that was like, I like the skirt. And then she tries out that she brings out the 10K one and she's like, I like the top, but I don't like the skirt. And then they start trying to make some sort of Frankenstein dress out of the two big dresses that are like 4 times their freaking budget.
Oh my gosh.
I had to like turn it off. I wanted to know what the final cost would be, but at the same time, I was like, I'm getting pissed off. I gotta turn it off.
The final cost, $10 billion.
Not that,
$1
not
million.
$10 million.
So I can guess.
Now there was a wedding in the world that did indeed cost $1 billion.
What?
Oh yeah. It exists. It existed.
How?
It's brilliant. It's some sort of Russian billionaire who he actually put out apparently the story is he actually put out a call for like a mail order bride. And of course like the blondest Kim Kardashian looking Russian lady answered it.
Dude, what kind of mail order bride is that, you dummy? It's Vikings from Denmark. That's where it's at.
Yeah, let's go.
Adorable big broad bruisers.
Frackin' $1 billion
The Punisher and My Little Pony in equal measure. That's what you get.
Let's go.
I can't even like list like, okay, you know what? If you want to know the details of what the heck they spent $1 billion on, Google it somehow because I know
I just Googled it. What the fuck?
And maybe they'll show the list of what the heck they spent. They spent $1 billion on.
I see the list. What the fuck?
I know.
Also, look at all those fucking flowers. How can you get that many fucking flowers? I'm seeing the photos.
I know. That's too many bloody freaking flowers.
That's too many bloody flowers. That's worse than my mom. That's worse than my mom's boss. What the fuck?
That's the amount of flowers they use to make Wicked.
Probably. That's probably worse than all the weddings we've ever been to combined.
And I've only been to one wedding, but like, I do not think that my mom's friend would ever be that stupid, even if she did have that much money to drop that much on a wedding.
I've been to. Let me see, how many weddings have I been to? Let's see. I think I've been to 2 or 3. And I've been, about, I'm going to say I've been to like about two of them, and I've been in two weddings too.
I think the biggest and most like expensive showboaty wedding I've ever been to was my cousin, who she was like kind of the charming personality of the family, the yoga enthusiast, good looking, all of the above, and she was marrying, 6'10" basketball star, stud, clean cut of his jib. Just I don't know, they could have like replaced Barbie and Ken. You thought they were, throwing out these. She was raking in $100K for years, and
Lord,
and now he's already on his second wife with a 3-month turnaround after the divorce, and she's down in Texas getting her chiropractor certificate. She's getting her professional yoga certificate, having been rocking that business successfully for a few years, with her girlfriend getting her chiropractor certificate down there with her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Turns out that idealized relationships are largely horseshit. Like, guy where
Yeah, I get
such an
that.
explicit temper tantrum thrower, she would have to lock herself in the bathroom to hide herself from him.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yes. So, which
Yeah.
why we were doubly like, apparently he got that from his dad, and the fact that instead of learning, he like remarried the very next year. We were like, oh my.
Oh Lord. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, confirmed. I just remembered. I've been at and in 3 weddings. So there you go. That's the final total. And each a different, and each one a different kind of style and such. They all seemed like really kind of, all 3 were kind of low key, and well, I don't know about I don't know if one of them was low key, but okay, all of them compared to the $1 billion shenanigans. All three are like low key, but there were different like levels of certain things. Like one was a themed, one was a really like simple themed kind. I mean, it wasn't even. Yeah, one was like a simple theme. One was a little bit more glitz and glamour, but had a definite theme of like kind of a Broadway kind of style to it. And then one was just a basic kind of wedding. So, but either way, like, you can do like pretty much. I'm now understanding why this culture now is going to go veer towards mini and micro weddings, and I would not even be surprised if more people are going to elope.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, like, I don't know. People seem to some people seem to think I want to know how the heck I helped make this happen, Deliver and me, and like, I mean, the real answer is I don't know, man. But yeah.
You guys are perfect for each other. I swear, I've never seen a more healthy couple in my life.
Agreed.
I don't know. I guess
y'all are absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
We just kind of went where our interests were, and the person was there, or something.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess real talk. Second to Deliver. I mean, I wasn't semi-thriving weirdo second yet to is currently having a ball, finding out that, as much as anything, I'm actually kind of a goofball and have been trying to prim and proper it down, so that's a thing, but it was past the self-loathing overachiever second who was much more willing to accept whatever the heck I was, so I guess that was the right time to meet Daylover.
Ah.
Yeah.
Like when I was really secure enough for a relationship.
Yeah. I get that.
Right. Not that you can like constantly try to self-test on that. You just kind of have to keep working there and hoping you're at that point. Because otherwise, I never would have dated anybody.
Ooh.
I would have been like, nope, you're still, boy, you're just, well, no, I can't think of a good punchline. You're still just like far more trying to pretend than you've actually got it. So.
Yeah, I totally get that.
I don't know, like, we think we have to find ideal partners. Like, Deliver, she was just about the last one of, like, anyone I started dating where I was like, oh, this seems like such a good match. Like, she, totally was, like, surprise after surprise until I was like, actually, is this the one? So, would you know it?
Hey, some of us are lucky like that. That's everything.
It's true. And I mean, and heck, and I was still way after, like, I'll say the society that boomers still want to be society, so I was supposed to meet the one, so, own paces and all that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And the whole world, I just wish some boomers need to understand, like, the world isn't going to stay the same forever. It's not going to stay, the world is always changing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's kind of supposed to upgrade because the challenges are not going to stop getting steeper, so we kind of need to upgrade with them.
Exactly. Just this year, we have way more things to worry about.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's true.
And the wackadoos trying to go backwards instead of forwards is one of them.
True, very true. One thing that is, like, I can understand what the, I wish I could, like, scream to some boomers, it's like, that could be like, work harder isn't always the answer, damn it. But for those who say adapt or die or whatever, I can understand, because you know what? Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth of life. You adapt or you die.
Sure. Especially, I mean, I found myself growing more open contempt for the hard work narrative. I'm like, oh, you are the hard workers who we need to be more like, yeah, about that. Weren't your parents called the greatest generation? Are you not the Nepo baby children of the generation that punched the Nazis and, worked for the greatest, most devil-may-care economy in American history?
Right. Yeah.
Like, George Carlin even had a routine 30 years ago or so, mind you, about how the boomers were handed everything.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
Boomer hate aside. Good talk.
Yeah.
Boomer hate aside, good talk. Good talk.
Well, but before we go, I guess we can probably go what we've been up to later. First, I guess might as well talk about what this is, sort of why they were recording this is. Like, Skype is going away in like 2 or so days from recording, and trying to force us to update it, despite it being like that. But yeah, so this is sort of any quick reflections or thoughts about Skype as it heads out?
Skype, well,
you may make. I can make a very morbid comparison to Skype right now if you want.
Sure.
I feel Skype is like the grandparent that has got dementia and has sort of been not there for like the last several years. So like, yeah, even though it's their time.
Oh, God. Oh. Yeah. That kind of hits too hard, dude.
Yeah, so sorry. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
That back?
About the comparison is reminding me about my father.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was thinking what happened with my step-grandfather, and yeah.
It was my grandma.
Which, it's a sort of weird to compare with Skype, which I feel Microsoft ruined it. So can we all agree that Microsoft has not been good custodians of Skype?
Nope.
Well, I mean, Skype has been the most troublesome and problematic streaming service I've had consistently in its existence, so I have to assume yes.
Yeah, I still remember when I was doing Brony stuff way back when, and
I definitely have a bit of a legacy about Skype, about the Brony stuff.
But yeah, like I remember trying to load up like a thing, and like it would basically freeze and crash my computer just trying to do updates. It's like, oh, here's a chat thing's like, well, my computer just melted, so.
I would get randomly added to like crypto scam group chats for the last 2 months ever since I got this account for the Reacts. It's so funny because it's always like random crypto bros yapping about their next investment. and it's like 200 members because they like forcefully add people. It's like a hacking thing. So like they hack it to forcefully get people in, and I'm just like, I'm a 16-year-old girl doing brony reacts. I don't think you want me anywhere near crypto.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the nice way of saying it. If it was me, and if they were just gonna ask me like, "Oh, why do you want to leave?" I would just simply say this: "You better let me go, or I will go to where you are in real life, and I will bite down on your neck with my actual real human-like teeth, and you will bleed out." Like that.
I mean, that's what I wanted to say, but I didn't want it to be that hard.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
That's what I wanted to say, though,
Some good
100%.
And some good news of things that sort of failed horribly is can we all just be happy that NFTs are no longer really a thing?
Oh, thank goodness, sweet Celestia.
Wait, what is?
Yeah. NFTs, remember? The hottest sensation ever since on the 2020s about trees burning. And you get a digital profile just saying like, oh yeah, you get like a deed saying like you own this thing, even though it's digital and can easily be copied.
I forgot about those things.
Yep.
I'm glad I invested so little of those I had to remind myself what they are.
I remember like talking to my dad about it, and I was just like, look, I know we're trying to invest in stuff right now, but this is going to crash fast. We should not invest in this. It's like the 15-year-old giving advice and being like, we should not invest in it.
Now
Yeah,
invest in this.
yeah. The best way to summarize NFTs is like, you know you're bad when you make cryptocurrency look good by comparison.
I know, right?
Oh, yep.
When you make cryptocurrency look half decent, then you know you're really fucked up.
Then you know it's bad.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like some of my earliest memories on Skype, like in terms of like chatting and whatnot, was like doing a little like a virtual game show version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but for like bronies and such. Like being one of like the rare people who basically reached to the end and basically winning a virtual $1 million. And which got me to meet up with like the host in real life, and I still have him on Facebook contacts to this day.
Dang.
Yeah, it's like stuff like that crazily happened literally 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
Yo.
Yeah, 10 years ago feels like 5 years ago just because that pandemic really messed up our time sense.
It actually really, I know I'm younger, but it messed up my time sense really fucking badly too. I still forget so much from that time.
For me, it was basically, it's like I wasn't doing anything proactive until like 2023, in which I got myself on Uber Eats as a delivery guy with a bike.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and while like that stuff was going on in 2020, I was basically just doing deliveries, but just for the family, just going out and shopping while everyone else just stayed inside.
Ah.
Yeah, I was the only one crazy enough to go outside constantly. Only got quarantined once, and I didn't even have any symptoms.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's like it kind of like helps me like misbelieve like, yeah, I don't think I ever caught the symptoms. I think that was just like a misjudge.
That's good. I know that like we were really confused on whether we got it or not, and it turned out that my parents probably got it, and I somehow didn't catch it. It was the weirdest thing ever. Like we all got tested, and somehow I didn't catch it, but my parents did. I'm so confused.
Oh yeah, I remember like I actually got quarantined because everyone else in the house got COVID. So 3 other people in the house got COVID, so I had to be quarantined for 2 weeks, and I somehow didn't get it, or just at least didn't get it there. But I remember like I found out like the night I was going to go watch. Let me see. Wolfwalkers, or what's that one Irish film studios thing?
Yeah, Wolf Walker is like the same thing with like the
Secret of the Kells. What is that?
yeah.
Yeah, I had a ticket there when they found they had COVID. It's like, well, I'm still going. I looked at it, that was the last thing I did before a thing, and I was like, I am not apologizing for it because that movie was fantastic, and I got to see it in theaters. But actually, it worked out well for me because it was annoying to be quarantined in the house, essentially a quarantine inside a quarantine since he didn't have it. But that same day, my PlayStation 5 arrived, so.
Ooh,
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
nice.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, so that was good. It was like bad mixed with good timing there. So
Our pandemic happened after I proposed to Daylover, and she had to go back to Denmark to wait for the visa. So it was entirely living in a vacuum of work in my essential job as a grocery store guy, and going to try to get a couple of hours with her on Skype to keep the relationship alive.
Ah.
Oh, I see.
But you guys did the work to make it work, you know?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So yeah, guess what half our wedding vows were about?
The long distance relationship.
Oh yeah, I like closed mine out. But most of all, I promise to remember all those years we spent trapped in different countries. Was it wishing for what we have today, and to remember that's how valuable this really is.
That's so adorable.
Thank you. They never totally one-upped me though. She straight up broke into song and made my mom cry.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Oh.
Thank you. My mom's kind of a cynic too, which is what made it special.
Oh, Dave just broke your mom.
Aww.
Like, exactly. So
How sweet.
cute.
Yeah.
Like,
Aw.
That's so cute. Is anyone else getting cavities?
Well, I'm trying to brush and not, but yeah, sometimes it's gonna happen.
Fair enough. Makes perfect sense. I mean, there's not enough it seems like there's not enough happiness and positivity in other people anyway. So.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of glad we're at least trying to leave the ownage edgelord era behind.
Yeah, I am too.
Definitely. I think a lot of people out there need to just leave whatever edgelord phase they're doing behind. I have to agree with you on that.
I mean, I don't know, just like basically the 2000s until at least 2016 and up to this day to an extent, we just had this idea that being like crueler, edgier, harsher made you realer, made you more realistic. That's what really solves the world's problems. And I don't know, we might have been watching a little bit too much reality TV.
I remember when I was a kid, like every single video commentary or analysis, because I grew up on My Little Pony analysis, so just a lot of them were just absolute edgelords. Looking back on it, it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah. I suppose Second Opinion was born out of that era, so yeah, the
Yippee!
smug
That was
guy
worth it.
talks down to you character has some of that in him, to be sure. Even if I did kind of intend it as self-parody, just so just reconciling the fact that in a review where a lot of people don't want what I'm going to say, there is a level on which I'm saying I'm right and you're wrong, so just why not do it as just this exaggerated self-parody edgelord, turn it into a joke.
Oh my gosh, I've just been simultaneously talking and pasting the link to this project I was working on, because I was trying to actually advertise it properly. The only issue is that not only is YouTube silly when it comes to advertising, which is why I had to do a lot of the work manually just now, but also, YouTube has a very big vendetta against Russia, so I can't do anything that involves Russia, otherwise they'll kick me off the platform. Like, 5 of my videos got blocked in Russia just because it had copyrighted music that the copyright owners didn't want it playing in Russia. I don't know why that's such a big problem, but I'm planning on collabing with someone in Russia, so hoping that YouTube will be okay with that. If they're not, then I'm going to have to beg the CEO of YouTube to let me do it. Mm-hmm. At least I got that all out of the way now, but I was also confused for a second of, why can't I promote it to Cuba? Oh, never mind. Never mind, I forgot America has sanctions on my country. Okay, I should not promote there. I forgot Fidel Castro existed for a second.
Don't they still have that pesky little embargo thing or on?
I was just like, never mind, there's that pesky little embargo rat that won't leave me the fuck alone. Shoo!
Well, then I guess what are you gonna do when all of a sudden you want cigars and such?
My dad actually has a couple of like Cuban type cigars.
I know somebody who wants to run a cigar bar somewhere locally, but excuse me, I have to ask him how are you gonna get Cuban? Are you planning to feature Cuban cigars or something? If so, how are you gonna do that?
Embargo.
The thing is, it's a verb or something,
I could technically get into the country. The only issue is that I would have to do a complicated process of doing a DNA test to track down someone who's related to me who lives in Cuba, which I know exists, but we just don't know who they are. Tell them, hey, let me go into Cuba. And then that random family member who I never met lets my family go over the border. That's the only way I'm getting in. I could try.
That is true. Or maybe we can hook you up with some cigars or something if someone needs it.
Yep, my dad would fucking love to get some Cuban cigars. So I just gotta see hey, you are my great twice removed cousin, and because you are at least partially related to me by blood, you now must let me into the country.
Some sort of cousin, some sort of relation. You are my kin. So kin helps kin out. Give me some cigars.
Exactly. Kin helps kin out. Let me the fuck into the country so I can get some cigars.
Mail me some.
At least mail me some, man.
Yeah, mail me some cigars, man. Come on, cuz.
That's all we need, man. It's been too many years of us trying to get into Cuba for those fucking cigars.
Family.
Hey, man, we're family. Just let me into the fucking country. I know you've never met any of us before and are probably deeply concerned, but look at this 23andMe test. It says that you are 0.1% related to me. You are now legally obliged to let us into the country.
Now I have a vision of you outside whatever borders of Cuba, and you're let me in.
The closest border that would be the easiest to do from Florida is the Key West border. So just go to the Key West border and be like, "Let me in, God!"
And all the key lime pie you can eat.
Yep, I've actually tried key lime pie from there before. It's actually really good. Probably because it's from the Keys.
Actual source. Oh. Now that would so be worth the trip in itself. Be here I am in Key West and all, and where are the key limes at?
Exactly.
One thing I found when my company did a nicer dinner thing for Christmas season. He's restaurant had actual key lime pie. He's there's a difference between key lime pie you get at a store and actual key lime pie. like actual key lime pie is like sort of similar to like cheesecake and sort of consistency and all that.
Exactly.
Oh. I know that.
Thing is, I just need to give you guys a tip. Never go to the Keys if you don't want something to go wrong. Every time I have been to the Keys, there's been one major incident. Last incident was we were finally leaving the Keys, right? We were excited. Nothing has gone wrong. We're in the
nuclear bomb
clear.
went off.
Very similar to that. There was a car near our car when we were backing out, and my dad accidentally hit the light, shattering our car light, not the other person's car. The other person's car was completely unscathed, but our car was not. So we went out and checked the car, and this was at a hotel, so they were nowhere near their car, the owners. But we checked over and over again, and there was nothing on the car. We hit it, and there was no marks. The only mark was on our car. So we did what any sensible family would do, where we are panicking. There is a 14-year-old panicking in the car. You don't know what to do, but there's no marks on the other car, and we floored it. We got out of the Keys, and and since then we have tape over our car light because of how it got shattered right when we were leaving the Keys. I also can confirm that there was no marks on the other car that we hit because I looked there as well. There was no marks on the other car. The only marks were on our car. So we made a run for it. So, moral of the story, don't go to the Keys if you don't want something going wrong. Because we were so excited thinking that, wow, this trip has been flawless. Nothing bad has happened at all. And then that happened the minute we started leaving the Keys.
Oh, wow.
So if you don't want something wrong to happen, if you don't want to have like an incident like that, don't go to the Keys. Do not go to the Keys.
Apparently, don't go to Key West. Darn.
I mean, it took us multiple hours of driving and going to different Keys with more and more stupid names. Like, it took hours just for us to go, because we were in South Florida, which is technically closer, but not enough for it to not be annoying. Because they're just like, we have different Keys with the stupider and stupider names until we finally make it to Key West. Like, I don't care about this random island that nobody knows about. Just take us to Key West so we can do the damn Pride event and get out of here. But we actually went to a gay pride festival. That's the reason we were here in the first place. And just another thing to show that you can never leave Key West unscathed, someone popular edited the video of the Pride Fest with fire and Satan saying that everyone who was present was going to go to hell. And that the Antichrist was coming. And that was a fairly popular video. And I was there. So we doubly didn't leave the Keys unscathed.
Oh, stupid.
I see why one of the most popular rising Christian philosophies, I guess it's the Catholic one, that all you have to do is believe in Christ to go to heaven, because I think by literally any other one, modern Christians would be the first ones in hell.
Yeah, like saying an entire group of people are going to hell just because they're holding a rainbow piece of plastic in the air on Saturday.
Oh boy.
Like,
But I guess that makes a good transition to the substance topic, and unless you have any other closing thoughts of
about Skype?
Microsoft, I believe it was.
About like real life stuff, or Skype.
Skype. I think
I mean, Microsoft is a bitch. That's all I'm gonna say. Microsoft are just penny pinching idiots.
I think we'll move on. I'll save our what we've been up to and all that to the end, and I'll just do the news stuff first, which is Skype, and then the Hellava stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's do that.
So going on to the news, which is, we don't have much news. We're not actually reacting anytime soon to any Hellavaverse stuff. But we do have confirmation.
Do have some Hellavaverse news.
Yes.
What's the Hellavaverse news? I thought I saw something, but I hadn't had a chance to read the news. So what's the news?
Basically, VisiPop struck a deal with Amazon where Amazon is sponsoring partially Hellava Boss 2. In exchange, Hellava Boss will be premiering first for about a month on Amazon Prime. Yes, but on top of that, they're basically, they should have confirmed that there will be some crossover stuff between Hellava Boss and Hazbin Hotel. That's part of what this deal is, and there will also still be Hellava Boss episodes on YouTube just a month later, and more censored.
More censored?
Didn't hear that part. That's kind of bullshit.
Well, not more censored than as of the current level of censorship. This is going to be a little bit less censored on Amazon Prime.
Oh, probably because of YouTube's policies, because Vivian wants to make the bag, and I don't think she can make the bag with it being uncensored, because YouTube fucking sucks with monetization.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, now we're gonna actually see some actual raunchy stuff on Amazon this time.
Let's go.
But from what I'm saying, there's going to be more direct sex scenes in it. Apparently, there's rumors, and I can imagine
rumors of direct sex scenes.
Which I hold it with a hand, it's from an anime experience. A lot of people when they say, "Oh, we're going to be uncensored," they're not really full on that uncensored yet, and I doubt Amazon Prime will be that ranty. But I imagine it's along the lines of much more directly suggestive, not actually showing the act, but basically showing everything around it.
I see.
And I imagine
the NSFW artists are gonna go crazy with that one.
And basically, they won't be censoring dildos in the background like they did, and so stuff like that will be more openly sexual and all that, but it won't. It's still not going to be porn because Amazon Prime is not even to HBO level of what they allow. So everyone should keep their expectations sort of in check, or be. It still will be more sexualized, but it won't be the same. Don't expect a sex position of Game of Thrones.
Wait, what about the boys? The boys had some scenes that were kind of explicit like that, actually, for Amazon Prime.
I'm not sure fully, but I expect explicit, but not too much. It's sort of I don't expect anything near interspecies reviewers level of stuff, but
no,
in the same level most ecchi stuff is. That's what I'm sort of expecting. So
yeah,
I say that's just one thing is people keep your expectations in check. It will be less censored, and it will we'll take advantage of it. That's stuff you can't really do YouTube without worrying about censorship, ad revenue going poof. But at the same time, don't expect basically Game of Thrones levels, and I would say keep it it'll be more, but don't expect it a completely different show level of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's main news. Hellava Boss is going to have the crossovers with Hazbin Hotel, and they will also be on Amazon Prime. When they basically still said animation takes time, so I'm not sure we'll get it this year. Either of them.
I honestly think that with the more uncensored, they're probably the NSFW artists are probably already thinking of all the most insane fantasies just from the one concept that it's going to be less uncensored. I think they're going to go a little bit wild with this one.
And to be fair, they're already definitely going wild.
I think they're going to be even worse though, and the NSFW they're just going to go absolutely bonkers once they realize that realize that since the show is going to be wilder, the artists also have more of an opportunity to express themselves.
Now actually, I just realized that could be a good thing, but a bad thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Black Betty had a child, bam, a lamb, the damn thing's going wild, bam, a lamb, mine, bam, a lamb, the damn thing's gone blind, bam, a lamb, oh, Black Betty, bam, a lamb.
Oh my! Ram, lamb, the thing gone wild, ram, lamb.
Bam, a lamb, way down in Alabama, bam, a lamb. Oh, once you second that thing, bam, a lamb. Boy, she makes this, bam, a lamb. Oh, Black Betty, bam, a lamb. Oh, Black Betty, bam, a lamb.
So, I was just wondering, Derek, did you see the newest video that they released today about the spring cleanup sale?
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the update, but I haven't actually watched because like I'm trying to save money right now, sort of thing.
Like they decided to reveal something at the very end, in which they finally decided to do a certain thing that apparently people were asking for since the beginning of the series, and it's literally bringing to life the Thing from episode 2 as a plushie.
Ooh.
I can't remember what happened in episode 2.
Lululand.
Oh.
So what is it?
Robofist?
No, not RoboFizz. Moxie and Millie's like a thing about trying to get like the Thing as a carnival prize.
Oh my gosh, like the carnival plushie.
Yes.
Let's go.
What was the carnival plushie?
Stop cheating to try to see if he can hit on Millie.
Yeah, it was basically the Thing, which looked like a knockoff dude plushie. If you know.
Oh my gosh, I just looked it up. They finally made it. It's already out of stock on the resold eBay listing.
Oh,
It was
Lululand, like, I don't know if I'm the only one who didn't get this the first time, but yeah, the Blitz the Fizz that Blitz faces off with in that episode is actually a robot Fizz who just acts like him and is not the actual one.
No, I think the context for that one is like this was the RoboFizz that was performing while Blitz was like in Lululand as a clown, like trying to like get through jobs. That was basically what the context was for that RoboFizz.
Like back in the day that older Blitz used to perform alongside Robot Fizz.
Maybe not perform. Not perform. No. It was just like he was like basically like a sort of like a clerk for like sending kids in. Like this. I guess this was going on when like this was only like 10 years ago.
So yeah, he burned bridges with his brother and his brother's clone robot.
Yeah.
Like the robot, I mean, was that always the intention that was not going to be the actual Fizz? Because they don't say anything about actual Fizz in the Lululand episode itself.
They only hint at it. They only hint at it.
Do they even do that? Blitz talks to him like this is a person he goes way back with and has a history with.
It's kind of like a weird thing in which you actually have history with both the actual person and the robot, but
yeah,
it's weird.
Like, I don't know. Am I the only one who kind of suspects that originally the robot was just the one-off gag or just the character Blitz was supposed to have beef with, and they tweaked it and went in a slightly different direction?
Honestly, that's possible.
That could have definitely been it. Like,
because they tweak things all the time. Like if you even look at the pilot, like Stolas and like Blitz's relationship was much different dynamic in the pilot than
way different.
Yes.
Did they even do anything with the relationship? In the pilot, all I remember is them advertising it and killing that kid.
No. The thing was like in the background for like what they were going to do in this series was like, oh no, Solus was just going to be a full-blown villain, and that was going to be the whole thing.
Yeah, in general, like it was more like Stolas was manipulating Blitz instead of like the other way around, which is like more what the series is about.
Yeah.
Like there's one thing is like, yeah, you should take the pilot with a grain of salt because they do tweak things and all. It's not like the Hellava Hasbin Hotel pilot, which is more or less required watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to see because, yeah, like I mean, it's Hellava Boss. I don't know, the character, like the characterization and development and arcs, it does kind of flow from one to the next pretty well and pretty naturally, at least by the standards of a lot of shows we have now. So like catching it in plot contradictions is, or at least like plot oddities, it's kind of weird, but it also, I don't know, it feels like the set dressing was slapped on kind of funny rather than like, yeah, something more integral to the structure. It's crooked.
Well, I said like series change and adapt all the time. Cartoons, it's like where they don't expect some character to be big, and then they come out later. Like look at Harley Quinn. She just started like, let's make one of Joker's henchmen like more memorable. Let's make her a woman, and like she became a fan favorite character, and they just kept reusing her and developing her character from there. That was by far not intentional from the start of the show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was a one-off idea, and then Arlene Sorkin's performance was just so memorable.
Yeah, it's like this. That's actually one of the most brilliant things with cartoons is like those sort of things happen where cartoons is like the weird mix usually where like they do plan out like basically the main like the sort of theme of the show, even if it's like episodic. Maybe even if it's not a linear story, and like they do generally still plan out the main story, but like at the same time they can tweak and garden the story a little bit more along the way. Just because they don't have to worry about real actors or anything like that, so they can really change and adapt. So yeah, like I know there's a whole bunch of stories where like they don't mean for a character to be big, and then they sort of hell. Look at Derpy. Derpy was not
Derpy.
meant to,
Yeah.
was like meant to
Just
be
an
all that-
animation error.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Just an animation error indeed. But yeah, that was just like the thing for the spring cleanup sale. Like they're clearing out a lot of like the old stuff that they no longer have like any more purchases, including like some sketchbooks of some characters and whatnot, some backpacks, and just about like I got myself like 4 items, even though I was trying to get them for cheap, and still ended up having to go over $50 just for 4 items on sale.
Oh no.
Actually, if that's including shipping, that is actually a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, including shipping made it go from 50 to 70. That's the thing.
Well, it's still not too bad.
Not too bad. It could be way worse.
Yeah, and particularly what I was getting was actual stuff I needed for like actually living. Like, yeah, so it wasn't just like, oh, I'm just buying fan merchandise. No. This fan merchandise is actually going to be used for stuff.
Yay!
But yeah, I guess aside from that, it's like, yeah, the news came out. Everyone is like flipping out. Like some negativity happening about like, oh no, we're going to have to edit our reactions now. We're going to have to do the same thing that we did for Has-Been Hotel now. Because all the reactors are just going to be like, well, we're going to have to make sure we have Prime ready just so that we can actually watch these videos. Have to deal with like their annoying video structure. It's like that's the thing going on for like the reactors of like on the scene, and especially with like some popular creators no longer tackling Has-Been Hotel or even Hellava Boss. It's gonna be quite different once season 2 of Has-Been comes out.
overall, I think this was a good thing because this big thing with cartoons is like they're not like overtly expensive, but they're like continuously expensive. It's like they're very long. Like it's like a live action show. Like even if it's big action or just like not well, sort of excluding reality TV. Like it's very much like there's a big burst of expense and then it gets cheaper before and after. Like pre-production is basically pennies to the dollar. Until like stuff's cheap, and that's where everything gets expensive fast, and then it gets where it's mildly expensive. Animation is not like overall a big expense, but it's like a very continuous expense. Which is why it's often easy for big studio executives like, well, let's just get rid of this because it's very continuous expense. Yeah. But what I was trying to go back to is like I feel this is a good thing because it ensures a good deal of financial stability for has been for Hellava Boss on top of like Has Been Hotel. Because even if they're not fully funding it, even getting like a half funding makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And it allows them to probably get more actual like stable job contracts instead of like sort of like more individualized, like basically taking a lot of temp work or probably less temp works.
Yeah.
So I think it will provide a good amount of financial stability, which allowed them to, we already knew the plan for this was like, yeah, there's going to be a big gap between season 2 and 3. However, there's going to be a lot more production stability. Like they're going to basically there's not going to be as much a gap between 3 and 4.
And we could just basically have a Has Been season 2 fill the void.
Yeah.
And there's also going to be like not as much gap in between episodes. It's just good to go a lot more stable of a production like budget, but also a production schedule. And also officially we're going to have crossovers. We all knew there was going to be some kind of.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
About time.
Woo!
Yeah, I think everyone's. It's been a long, ongoing joke that like at some point like Lucifer is going to kick Satan's ass for bad mouthing him at some point. Now it can happen.
Oh my god!
Lucy just gonna be like, did you say you were the big boss of hell himself? Wait, sir, no, I swear, I was just trying to intimidate that fucking Goisha. I didn't mean it, sir. Did you say you were the boss? No, sir, I'm not the boss, please.
Like when we saw Satan himself.
I'm just imagining like the consequence is like being attacked by all the duckies, like in a big avalanche on him.
You need to learn a lesson. No, sir, please. What?
He's too depressed to really govern. Like, I don't know. He doesn't seem like the kind of character who would, if he realized all this class warfare, put up with it. So, like, yeah, it feels like he could be the Deus Ex Machina to get Stolas out of trouble to drop any time, unless they come up with a real good reason that it can't just go that way.
Yeah. I feel like they're not fully sure what they want to do with Lucy yet. Mostly because like I feel like the big theme of this Has Been Hotel is basically a future generation finishing like what their parents couldn't do. Is like that's going to be air quote parents, but like I feel that's a big theme of the show is like gosh, I can't remember what's her name.
Charlie?
Charlie is like her big thing is it's going to be at least to some degree successful for a hotel, and like she's going to finishing like Lucy's original plan of like as he wanted to try redemption and all that, like but he didn't work and he just failed. I feel like she's going to succeed in her own way, and the new generation is basically fixing the problems of the old. And in heaven, Emily is essentially going to be, I guarantee she's going to be the angel more in charge after whatever shenanigans go down. It was Emily, right? Or
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, Emily's like the nice seraphim.
An era.
Yeah.
A lot of people have theories that Emily's gonna fall because she was the one to, she was the one to question Heaven and join him with Charlie during the argument, which is kind of interesting to me from an atheistic perspective. That a lot of the time when I hear things about the Bible, which, fun fact, I've never even read, is that you're instantly cast down for remotely questioning the text. That's how they sort of get you, They try to make it seem like if you question the text at all, you're instantly a terrible person and you're going to hell. So I think what's going to happen is they're going to show that part of the religious text by having Emily sent down for questioning the text, and then she's going to be the next sinner that gets redeemed, like Sir Penchants. And when she goes back up into heaven, they're going to realize their mistakes.
Awfully specific.
No,
I don't know about Emily
my
being
guess.
the next sinner.
The thing is, like, I hear that theory a lot, and I feel like that Emily's gonna fall, like she's been cast down. I just don't feel that goes with the theme of the show, because I feel a lot of people are rejecting that, like, that Heaven's going to be secretly they're the bad guys. Like,
secretly.
And like that's not the theme of the show. The whole theme of the show is that they're trying to redeem sinners to go to heaven.
I just think that Emily might have been a little bit too outspoken.
Right. But I feel, especially since it's been revealed that, like, hey, that actually works. So we can redeem sinners. So, like, yeah.
Like, let's see how interesting it is for people who have, like, ties to hell. Basically be like, nah, no, I don't want to change my ways. Like, I still enjoy, like, the depravity of down here. Like, what's the point of going up there? It's like, that would be, like, the next interesting plot point that they could tackle.
They've already kind of done it with Cherry. With Cherry Bomb. They've already kind of done that kind of idea with Cherry Bomb, like when I think Angel says, like, alludes to like, hey, alludes to like, hey, if you wanna like try to change, excuse me, like he tries to allude to her about that, and she's like, no, I'm good. They kind of did like that with Cherry Bomb in a way, so yeah.
Like how Cherry was like repeatedly convincing Angel to do more sin than he had already done, and Husk had to be the voice of reason in the room.
But the big thing here though is going to be how Sir Pretentious, like, that's going to, once that gets out, that's really going to change a lot of the dynamic of the show, and just because a lot of the reason it's basically everyone in hell basically straight up called Charlie an idiot. And those are more kind words than they're using.
Right.
Yeah, if it actually works, that will. But there will be people that will just say, screw it, I just want to do whatever the heck I want in hell. Because, these are sinners that are, a lot of them are just straight up assholes. As like, that's one thing we seem to forget from the pilot. That is like, there's like, most people in hell are just straight up douchebags. There are some. Yeah, like it says, like, you forget, like, this is still hell. That's where a lot of people are just an assholes. Do they need to deserve being purged by angels every like 6 months now? Probably not, but like, they are assholes. And they actually like being in hell, and where they can just continue to be assholes.
There's a lot of thinly disguised class warfare in there. Like, heaven, they're not, well, some people in heaven are inherently the bad guys. Heaven itself is just the upper crust, which the bad part is not that it exists, obviously. It's the place where everyone can come and have all their needs met. It's that it's being hoarded, and, like, hell is, heaven's explanation for why people go to hell are like, well, it's out of our control. It just happens. The actual truth is that, like, personal failings lead to that kind of a setting only as much, and even less so, maybe even less so, as that kind of a setting and a background lead to personal failings. It's one very much feeds off the other, and you get a lot of angel dust types whose one sin is really that they only know one way to survive, because I think they've pretty well established Angel Dust by now as basically a good guy who is a loser and an infomaniac, and yeah, almost thinks he likes it that way because he doesn't have another way.
Yeah.
Like, what did they say, like hypersexualized or so? Or
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I feel like the show is going to eventually, that there are going to be people, like, not everyone is going to sign up for Charlie's treatment,
Right.
even once it's been proven to work. But however, I think that's a big thing, is like it's going to be there and probably expanded for people who actually do want to, like, even though Angel Dust basically started it just as a joke or just to serve as a place to crash, he is genuinely trying to like get with the program now.
Yeah.
Even like not necessarily that he believes in it, but more like he just wants to be better than he was before.
Wants to be part of something.
Yeah.
Exactly. Plus, also, he wants to get away from fucking Valentino.
But yeah, that's going back to like us, because I don't want to go into fan theories and all that, because like we could spend a whole bunch going back over Hazbin Hotel but yeah, one theory that they're going to address is like how does redemption deal when someone else owns your soul? That's might offer a very dark theory where it's like, yeah, he might actually be in honor of redemption, but he can't go to heaven just because someone else owns his soul at the time, which would be very dark, like extra dark.
I do have another theory that could also be kind of dark, where because their souls are bound together, like per se, I'm gonna say the less disturbing one first. So like per se, like if Husk gets redeemed, then Alistair goes too. Or the really dark one, if Angel Dust gets redeemed, Valentino also gets redeemed.
I don't think we're gonna actually see that.
Yeah, I feel. The one thing is, like, I have a feeling like
is the slightly possibly built up result of Charlie basically accidentally seeing how it is unfiltered and just like curb stomping Valentino.
My hope is that you get. Oh, sorry, continue.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, that's one thing I feel we will get at some point. Like Valentino in particular, like of the V's, is going to have a very fun payback at some point, because he just straight up is like pissing so many different people off. Like there's so many different ways. It's like basically a whack-a-mole, like who's going to like whack him first, because like he's pissing off Charlie with how he's been treating like Angel. Angel Dust obviously has reasons to hate and like want revenge against Valentino, very obviously. Then there's like how even Lucy, like, yeah, if Lucy's seen like how Valentino's treating his daughter, that would be delightful to see.
Oh my gosh, I have two theories. Either Lucifer is going to straight up kill Valentino when he figures out him licking Charlie's arm that one time, or the more satisfying thing I've seen a lot of animations of, Vaggie gives Angel Dust an angelic weapon, and Angel Dust says that this is the last time he's going to sin. He goes to Valentino with the angelic weapon and kills him, therefore breaking his contract. Now that's something I'd like to see.
Okay,
yeah, that is one.
Terminizing.
That would be fun, but I mean, I don't know. Like Angel, I feel like he's summoned all the bravery we want to see. But I don't know why why this is my favorite one. But just like Charlie, like trying to be nice to Valentino until she sees just like a taste of how he treats Angel Dust, and then wanting to like pull out just how much weight she has to throw around but almost never does, and then the episode completely I'll let myself one crudity. It completely cock blocks us on that one by having Angel himself get in the way and break Charlie's heart because he thinks he's protecting her. Like, I don't know, that was just like such a last minute yoink from what I wanted to see there. Like, I totally want to run back. I want Charlie to be like, to just have this utter beatdown scene of like, all right, let me get this straight. You think that because you have this one guy under contract that I, the Princess of Hell, cannot do anything to you.
Right.
And then she beats the shit out of him.
Oh, wait, no, I want to see, like, how many different ways she can threaten Valentino. Like, okay, you realize that chaining him to you makes you the onus, right? That I would have to target.
Let's go.
I want to see. I keep hearing about. Well, one thing I think that is supposed to be confirmed is the 7 deadly sins.
Oh yes, they already had a reference to Lucifer with like the little Lucifer duck on the throne, but now they'd be able to actually do it.
That is true, but also isn't Satan himself like the sin of pride or something? Or
Yes, he's pride.
Yeah, because I mean, well, there has to be
No,
9 circles of hell
Satan's,
because Dante,
Satan's,
and I mean,
Lucifer's pride, Satan is
Lucifer's
wrath.
pride. Yeah.
well, is it?
wait a minute, wait, isn't Satan pride? I thought.
No, Satan
wait.
is just wrath. Satan is just wrath.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Satan is Lucifer.
Wait.
Lucifer's pride. So Satan is wrath. Okay.
The big boss of hell himself, pride.
That's what
I guess they did just like revamp it. They don't have Dante's 9 circles. They just have 7 rings. So okay, it is just the sins, nice and easy.
I don't know.
Because yeah, Dante's version was that the first 5, the first circle of hell is not actually hell. So yeah, the first one where the people who didn't actually do anything wrong but just were born or at least died before they had a chance to find out about Jesus and get baptized, so sucks to be them. They get to go to the first circle of hell where the punishment is only that they're not in heaven and otherwise it's fine. And then circles 2 to 5 are 4 of the 7 deadly sins, and then afterwards it becomes like I guess for lack of a better term, it becomes like the real hell where okay, sinned, and I mean that's naughty, you do have to be punished for all eternity, but like punished in circles 6 to 9 you suffer.
You just suffer.
Which is the reason why I'm always so confused why religious people find comfort in believing in this, that if they make, especially with Protestants, if they make one mistake, they have to suffer in the rings of 6 to 9. It just doesn't make any sense to me about how you would possibly find comfort in that. Yeah. It sounds like you're terrified every single second that you're gonna end up there. I already got enough anxiety. I don't want that.
Well, it is worth noting Dante's Inferno is history's greatest fanfic. The Bible doesn't actually say anything about 9 circles of hell or anything like that.
Right.
It is the best fanfic ever created.
Fanfiction ever written.
But I guess
insert protagonist, no less.
I guess with that said, I guess you can move on to what we've been up to in other news. Does anyone want to go first?
Ooh,
I'm not going first. If nobody else wants it.
I can.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, things have been interesting, to say the least. I got into a relationship for like 2 days, and then he broke up with me after 2 days, and then somebody else confessed to me who was like this crazy religious person, and I turned him down, and then he got really mad at me for not wanting to talk to him, even though I had on my Discord to not interact with me right now. And he did anyway and got mad when I said not to. So I had to block that person.
Okay.
I also had the most insane crash out I've ever had in my entire life during a Minecraft event of all things. because I had 3 years worth of anger that was building up, and unfortunately the moment it came out was during a Minecraft event. So that was interesting. I met some new friends in real life, and I was happy about that because I don't have a social life that isn't online. But the people I met kinda suck and are having their own relationship issues, which I don't want to be a part of. So, including one of them that like just straight up tricked me into talking to their ex for them, which I was in the middle of a weird situation going on with my friend's Discord, so like I didn't want to have to deal with that. So really, I'm just gonna politely step away. So yeah, things have been interesting. The most interesting thing that's happened is one that I unfortunately talked to the second opinion about while it was happening. We nearly got into very bad legal trouble because the Florida government are idiots. We transferred from Palm Beach County homeschooling to our current county homeschooling, and they thought we were transferring from Palm Beach County homeschooling to public schooling, even though we didn't say that. We said we were just transferring to a different county. So they said, when I went to get my license renewed, because I live in a new place now, that I hadn't been attending school. And since I hadn't been attending school, they would take away my license that I just got 2 months ago.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, question mark. And it was really weird because, like, this is a serious accusation because, like, my parents could get taken away, and I could be put in a foster home over this, considering that skipping school is a crime. So we had to spend a full week talking to random homeschool people from across Florida about their fuck up, and eventually we got one paper signed that said, hey guys, you're in the clear now, and we still don't know who fucked up. So while my license is not going to be taken away and now everything's fine, we're still all confused. Who fucked up? Who fucked up? Whose fault was this? I need to know. You just... Gator, okay?
Yeah, I'm just hearing that, I'm like, wow, that could have messed up not just your life, but a lot of other people. Jeez.
Yep, and it was all because someone in the school system was stupid enough to mark me as moving to Palm Beach County Public School and not homeschooling, and automatically signed me up for the school nearest my old house. So when those teenagers looked at the school records, they saw my full legal name, thinking that I was skipping school when I never even stepped foot in that school in the entire 10 years I was living near it. So I was just like a ghost student for like 4 months, and no one knew why I wasn't attending school because I didn't go to school.
But
Wow.
to steal a quote from James and the Giant Peach, idiots!
Yep, it was...
Popes!
And it was so crazy because, like, the lady who was at the DMV, I never thought I would be threatened by a lady with a shirt that says, I'm that clerk that they told you about. But it's this lady with glasses with a shirt that says, I'm that clerk they told you about, legally threatening me and my dad, like, not even an over-exaggeration, like 20 fucking times, threatening us with different things. Oh, and kept bitching about the tiniest things, such as how apparently my old license was illegal because of the 2 stupidest things. I had a heart in my signature. I put a heart on the I in my signature. And apparently that means my old license was illegal? What?
All because of a little heart?
And they also said that the photo was also illegal as well, because my hair was covering my eyebrows because I have bangs.
Okay. Lady, it's a bit sexist, but Do you know what they tell you about that clerk they told you about? Like, involves going home to nobody and loss of no life.
Like, literally, she was like straight up threatening me and my dad over tiny things and literally forced me to redo the whole process over again because she thought that I hadn't signed my name right because my handwriting in general is bad. So I had to sign all the documents all over again, and my dad barely did anything. She was yelling and forcing the minor to sign all of the legally binding documents over and over again. And literally, it was like said straight to my face, it has to be legible when I was desperately trying to write my address because I've only been living in this house for 2 months. How was I supposed to have that memorized? In fact, the final thing that was quote-unquote illegal was that we were supposed to update the address a month ago, but we weren't able to. So, if that lady ever found out about that, we would be in even more trouble than we already are. But it makes it even funnier because, like, if you assume that we're getting the address changed like 2 days after we moved, then why in living hell is it a problem that I can't remember my address? Like, literally, my mom just randomly called while we were there and was like, hey, do I need to clock out of work to help you guys? Because my mom works from home. So we were just like, no, it's fine. And this lady was just giving us the death stare. It's like, everything is totally fine. You don't have to worry about anything. And it's like, 5 minutes later, it's like, Mama, you need to send us the legally binding documents. Sorry, what? Get off the phone. I don't care if little Timmy has a broken bracket for the 5th time this week. We need the legally binding documents. My mom is a receptionist at an orthodontist office, so that's the shit she has to deal with all day.
If I said this lady deserved a song, would anybody be intrigued?
Yes, I would.
Give me a beat. They said, this lady's born to be a bureaucrat, born to be all obsessive and sloppy. She made her friends and relations file long applications to get into her 10th birthday party. But something changed when she turned pro. She was sorting, but she wasn't smiling. She forgot that it's not about badges and ranks. It's supposed to be about the filing. People, she didn't choose to be a bureaucrat. No, that's what the Almighty made her. She still treat people like swine and make them stand in line, even if nobody paid her. They say the world looks down in the bureaucrats. They say they're anal, compulsive, and weird. But when push comes to shove, you got to do what you love, even if it's not a good idea. Sing it! Everybody compulsive! Not just the ones with lives, compulsive! You got to do what you love, even if it's not a good idea.
That's impressive, honestly.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Boy,
Thank you.
that song does come back to mind sometimes. It turns out it was a little too true.
Yep. And this lady was no exception. But in better news, I know how to drive now. I was able to drive very well on my own. The only thing about that was that we slammed on the brakes. My mom told me to slam on the brakes because we were driving and she got anxious. And because I did it so fast and my mom wasn't wearing a seatbelt, I kinda slammed my mom on the dashboard by accident when I first drove.
So speaking of
a couple of things helping me learn to drive too. I mean, it happens. Try not to make it happen. Learning it happen.
That does remind me of one thing we were talking about boomers earlier. That's one thing I feel that like us get like the generations like younger kids, like that includes like millennials, and like it feels weird not to drive with the seatbelt, but like our parents and upwards of that like often don't. Don't forget to put on seatbelts. That's a weird, like, generational thing.
Yeah, my dad was not one for that.
Like, the only reason my mom didn't have a seatbelt on was she was trying desperately to teach me. But she said for me to slam on the brakes randomly, so I slammed on the brakes, and I didn't know she wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
Oh, no.
And then my dad was teaching me how to drive, and it went really well. I learned a lot. The only issue is that my mom was nervous the whole time we were driving, and my dad was, like, blasting random music while I was driving. My mom was just like, no, we can't have that. And my dad was like, hey, why don't you go hit those leaves that are, like, there's these vines going down from a tree. Why don't you go hit those vines with the car? Why should I do that? Because it's fun. So then I hit the vines with the car like 5 times. And now there's vines on the car. But hey, I know how to drive now.
Hey, that's important.
Yep. And also, I'm doing this damn event that one of my in real life friends is hosting, another Minecraft event. Are you surprised? And I did well at it the first time when I first joined in like summer last year. Did really bad the second time, late last year, early this year, and now we have the All-Star season. Now I'm not going to say what Minecraft event it is to keep them anonymous. Right. But this friend, oh my gosh, my only issue with him is that every single time I vent to him, he always downplays me every time and talks down to me every time I try to do anything. It drives me crazy because, like, I'm just trying to talk to someone about everything that's going on, and either you think my life is insane, or every single time I vent to you about anything, you always downplay it and make me feel like I'm over-exaggerating. Even when I just tell him the facts, he never believes me. And it drives me crazy because I'm just trying to talk to someone about what's going on, but he never listens to me at all. And he ignores my messages half the time, so, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that.
Yeah, people, even if the person who's come to you is exaggerating it, don't tell them they are. That is the opposite of building a way towards catharsis here. That's like, yeah, that makes people feel worse and not better about it.
Yeah, like, the thing that annoys me the most is, like, 99% of the time, I wasn't over-exaggerating and saying things verbatim as they were happening, and he would always downplay it every time. Even when I didn't use any fancy language at all and just said things verbatim, I would always get downplayed and talked down to, and it drove me crazy because I never felt like I was being taken seriously, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you were being gaslit pretty hard trying to, like, adapt to it even.
Yeah, because I was just like, look, man, stuff is going on in my life. I wanted to talk to someone about it. And I don't want every single time I talk to anyone about anything going on in my life, they instantly downplay it and treat me like I'm crazy for saying anything.
Yeah.
Like, last thing I'll say is that ever since I was like 13, people my generation drive me crazy in multiple regards. But the main one is that everyone is always trying to diagnose me. Everyone thinks I have problems, and I don't know why. I'm just a normal person. I've never been diagnosed with anything. The only thing I've been diagnosed with is a physical disorder that doesn't affect me mentally at all. Yeah. So my question is, why is everyone always trying to diagnose me? I've gotten ADHD, OCD, bipolar disorder, anxiety, so many false diagnoses. ADHD is more possible. Like, ADHD is the most possible one, but the other ones are just way, way out there. I don't have bipolar disorder, I don't have anxiety, I don't have depression, I don't have PTSD, I don't have anything. I don't have any of that. I respect people who do, but, like, I don't have any of those problems. I maybe maybe have ADHD. But even that is a very slim chance. It's just a slightly less slim chance compared to the other ones that are just straight up bullshit compared to me. Now, I don't know why every time I talk to everyone, they always think I have problems. Just because I'm slightly different than you doesn't mean that I need to. That doesn't mean that I have 17 mental disorders and need to go on pills right now.
People are always trying to give you amateur mental diagnoses.
Why is everyone trying to be my therapist? You're not a doctor. Why are you pretending to be a doctor?
No idea.
Yeah, that's basically everyone trying to classify everything has sort of become an infamous problem right now. But
I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I think self-diagnoses are totally valid because it's been notoriously hard for people to get diagnosed at all, and sometimes knowing how to navigate thyself just frankly works a lot better after you know the symptoms of various neurodivergencies or the like, and you're able to say, okay, so does this cope help me with that? Hey, it does. I should keep doing it. Like, yeah, sometimes that's just kind of how navigating life works. But I mean,
yeah, but I think we're just in
somebody else as an amateur, on the other hand, like, no, dude, that's not your business.
Like, I support self-diagnoses. The only thing that bothers me is ever since I was 13, everyone is always trying to be my therapist. It started off with this one time that my friend was trying to get someone not to show something to me because she thought I had anxiety disorder, and I had to tell her I didn't. She just assumed that, by the way. I never told her I did. And it just kept happening over and over again. The people would do things and, like, coddle me and treat me differently because they thought I was mentally ill. It keeps happening. And, like, the last time it happened was I was on a call with someone venting about all the relationship issues, and they interrupted me, saying that they think I have bipolar disorder. All because I was changing moods quickly throughout the conversation, because that's what I do to cope. I am an overly optimistic, cautiously optimistic, positive person. That's just who I am. So that's why I switch moods every 5 seconds. But, like, why would you interrupt me in saying that not only do you think I most likely have bipolar disorder, but you told one of our friends who I'm very close to that I probably have bipolar disorder? Sorry, what? Why would you tell them that? Why would you be telling people that I probably have bipolar disorder without asking me first? Of course I don't have bipolar disorder. What the hell are you telling people?
Yeah, that's not for just, hey, something happened that really emotionally affected me and I'm having lots of big emotions. That's like, far more erratic and harsh and unsettling. Uncertain, like, I don't know, amateur diagnoses, man. Don't get yourself in there like that.
Yeah, I think it's just we're in an era of, like, overcorrection of, like, basically it was definitely underdiagnosed before, and now I feel everyone's trying to course correct that. But we need to. I just want to move things along because it's 11:40.
I would like to bring up some stuff.
Yeah, of course. I had my little yapping fest.
So for me recently, I kind of been getting a hot streak for, like, some locals for, like, Card Fight Vanguard for this entire month of April, in which I was using a deck called Gendiva, which is a Flame Dragon Archer, whose main gimmick is just burning his own resources, aka his own monsters, just to basically retire as much as, like, the opponent's monsters as possible. And then he basically gained kindling to get more and more powered, not just for himself, but also other rear guards, basically, which it could stack quite a bit. And he also gets a critical, which means if his attack does hit, it's going to do massive damage to the opponent. And I basically won an online tournament with this deck. And then afterwards, I've been getting second place for nearly over 50% of the locals I went to this past month with that deck. second place.
That's close.
Like, I am not even kidding you. Even the judge at last week was like saying like, wait, I noticed like you've been getting a lot of high tiers recently. What's been going on? Like, I don't know. It's just the dragon deck. It's just been working for me massively. Like, ever since I decided to actually make the deck, because I had the pieces. I just didn't have the newest pieces. But then as soon as here's the thing. I actually tried to sell the deck because I was like concerned about my finances and whatnot. It's like, yeah, maybe it might be good to sell this deck because it's a really good deck for the meta right then. And I was like, but then no one really wanted to get it. And then I was blue balled by a person who was saying, oh, I definitely wanted to buy it. And he said he was from Pennsylvania. I waited 3 days after you said okay. And I asked him on Facebook, so are we still doing this? Because I have not received an address from you or any payment.
Oh,
and then he
no.
just basically ghosted me. So then I was like, you know what? Fine. I'll just finish this deck and then see how this deck works. And that's what started all those wins.
Yippee!
Yeah.
That's definitely a happy accident thing.
Yeah.
Yep. I was thinking I wanted to sell it just so I could actually be a bit more financially stable. But instead it's like entering tournaments and then somewhat getting a lot of store credit for a bunch of them. And which now I'm probably using it just to get new binders and new deck boxes. Yeah, I kind of saved a lot of money. Like literally from 2 of the tournaments for just getting second place was like $30 in store credit. Even though I only paid $10 for entry.
Ooh.
So yeah, that was how my thing went. Oh yeah, and also for the online tournament, I basically won a free mat, which I didn't even know we were competing for. And once I got it, it literally just looks like a very graphic picture. I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys like on the Skype. Like, it's like super gorgeous. It's like on one side, it's like a fire mech monster. And then on the other side is an angelic looking human girl with blue flames.
Ooh.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all in all, I'm just like, it felt really good. Like, and even like in the last tournament that I got second place, I basically had such an insane synchronicity with my deck, even though I lost the game, to a cat girl idol deck. Which, yes, there are cat girl idols in
Cat
Vanguard.
girl idol.
Yes.
Rock on.
Yes. I felt for a moment I was playing as if I was an anime character, like just putting my entire hand to guard against their attack, and then literally lucking out in that they did not get any triggers. So I literally protected myself and still had a card that lets me have a massive advantage for like my next turn. And I was like, oh my god, this is exhilarating. Like, my adrenaline was pumping up so high. So all in all, so yeah, I was feeling like the biggest highs I've ever had at Vanguard as like a locals player. Like, legitimately, like, this is like one of the big reasons why I even played the card game to begin with. It's like the freedom that you don't get from like Yu-Gi-Oh and such. It's like you always feel like you always have to lock down everyone. Vanguard, nope. You get to play how you want it, even if you get interrupted with your strategy a bit of the time. You're still able to do like your skill expression constantly.
Let's go.
Yeah, so all in all, like, I was enjoying myself then. And I guess aside from that, new news about like some other games that recently released, even though I haven't played them yet. Kodaka's magnum opus was released recently.
Yay!
The 100 line.
Ooh, sounds cool.
Apparently, it was a collaboration with Kodaka and Unaboshi, the guy behind 999. 9 doors, 9 persons, 9 exits. And 100 line is quite literal because they decide to make a video game with 100 completed endings done by multiple writers for one game. Like, legitimately 100 endings. Like, and
That's crazy.
And Kodaka says this is literally like his life or death game, in which, like, if he does not sell well, he's gonna go bankrupt with his company.
I mean, Shadow the Hedgehog and all its endings doesn't hold a candle to that.
No, like 100. No, like, even though Shadow has like over 300, but they're not really like super different. This is 100 confirmed endings that are just
Exactly.
actual writers. Yeah, and it's literally, the game is quite literally Danganronpa 4. That is the best part. It's like, it does not have the Danganronpa name on it, but oh my gosh, it literally is just Danganronpa 4. It's like, it's not following the formula of Danganronpa. I'm just letting you know. But it's just quite literally the actual spiritual successor that we've been waiting for all this time.
Let's go.
So if any of you have any nostalgia about Danganronpa or that era back in the 2010s, get 100 line Last Defense Academy. It's a literal strategy RPG game. That's like super anime and super great, in which it takes a lot of good elements from anime, including the fact that the initial way of like the characters fight in the game is ripping off of Bleach, in which you stab yourself with a knife in order to activate your superpower. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It goes that hard. It goes that hard. Yeah, I mean, then again, we've seen more notorious examples. Looks at you, Persona 3. Aside from that, there's been a lot of rumors that we might be getting a Persona 4 remake actually happening super soon.
Oh my gosh, I heard about that.
And if this game actually does come out, I'm just going to warn you guys. There's going to be a lot of illiteracy going to be happening once the general public gets a hand on the Persona 4 characters. Because we're going to be talking about misgendering, miscasting people about like their sexual identity, and even about what actually makes a character interesting with the Persona 4 cast, because they're literally the best cast of Persona characters in terms of like a modern game. It's just that they're usually misrepresented by people who misread them. So I'm just letting you know, if you see videos like that, like in the 1 to 2 years, yeah, I warn you, this stuff has happened before and people have not learned.
Yeah, I don't think
I've seen that happening in so many other fandoms. I can see that.
I don't know if it happens soon because Persona 3 remake just came out. Actually, it's about a year ago, I think, at this point, but still relatively
at the very
soon.
beginning of last year.
So I feel like either end of like this year or maybe next year is where we might get Persona like 4 remake.
Yeah.
Because 3 was successful, but like they still like need time to sort of do it. So I think it definitely will happen at some point because 4 was already more successful than 3, and they remade 3, so like they're inevitably going to do 4 at some point.
Yeah, and the fact that we're delaying Persona 6 possibly to the 30th anniversary now for Persona.
When would that be?
I don't know. Probably like around 2027, 2028.
I feel that's a little much. I feel they might release it before that and then have maybe the like golden edition or whatever they're going to call it, like released for the 30th.
I know. It's like it makes more sense to release Persona 6 already because we already had one remake, but it's like, No, there's a lot more traction on the Persona 4 remake, more than Persona 6 now. We don't have any hints at all about Persona 6.
Well, the thing is, I feel because they aren't the same team sort of thing, I feel it's like a sub-team's working on the remakes and then the other ones are working on the main game.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like how Monolith Soft can do, like, gosh, they've like remade pretty much every single like Xenoblade game for the Switch, besides 2 and 3, because they are for the Switch. But yeah, like they can just work on multiple things at the same time, I feel. So again, I feel like the pandemic might have just delayed 6 more than it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
guess.
they're already a team that sort of basically takes at their own pace.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't feel like waiting to the 30th because this feels like too long of a thing and like too specific. Like that seems like too much weight just to essentially we're doing this on purpose to get on the 30th. Or like I feel like a 30th celebration would be better for like a golden edition or a DLC if they go for that route instead of a golden edition.
But yeah, I guess aside from that, and in terms of animes I've watched recently, one anime I've been waiting for so long now finally got adapted from a manga. That being My Hero Academia Vigilantes. God, we finally reached comic book anime peak.
Woo!
Vigilantes was everything I was asking for. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, because Vigilantes, from I've heard and what you've described before, is essentially the Gun Gale Online to Sword Art Online, where like the spinoff is actually better than the original.
Yes.
And before I forget, like the one anime front, like I've been watching a few series. One I just finished that was freaking amazing was Kaiju number 8.
Oh, you finally watched that one, have you?
Yeah, they're good. You can tell they definitely took a lot of inspiration from Attack on Titan in a very good way. Like,
so like what about a Kaiju number 8 that got you hooked?
oh, this is like a very well done like action series, and just the character. Like, I feel like the difference though between, besides it's being more sci-fi focused on Attack on Titan, is like it still maintains the humor. Like Attack on Titan, like yeah, of course there's Potato Girl and there's jokes and there, but it takes itself very seriously. Like it's a thing. But like this show, like I don't want to say what, but like there's just straight up like they're never afraid not to make a joke. But at the same time still be serious. I'm trying not to spoil anything for anyone, but yeah, it's basically a series where like kaiju exist in the world, but like they like basically special forces that deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like the main guy like wants to sort of get to join the team, but he sort of keeps getting rejected. But not to give some spoiler, he essentially gets infected by kaiju, and now he can turn into like a. It says a kaiju, but basically the what's the word, like Ultraman? What's the one?
Like
Sentai character that's like a robot.
Sentai character that's a robot. I mean, a Megazord, like a super robot.
The person.
Oh, the person, a pilot.
No, like the robot's like a robot person. I want to say Ultraman, but I know that's not right.
Ultraman is a type of giant hero.
But yeah, anyway, yes, but he's not like he's just more of a small kaiju thing. But like yeah, he just fights it. So the whole plot is basically trying to still be on that force, but also trying to keep the secret so he's not like dissected. And the only thing I will say about that series, like it makes me feel old because they keep like making recurring jokes like about the main character being like an old man. He's like just 32. He's like, Ooh, that makes me feel really old.
Oh God! Oh God!
Like, ooh.
Yeah.
For a while, the patron saint of winning the heavyweight title when you're old did it at 37. That was the big, oh my gosh, we're never going to top that age for about 50 years.
Mhm.
But then George Foreman decided he wanted to show everybody that your 40s aren't a death sentence, and he did it when he was like 45.
You gotta keep it young and hard, but yeah, the same. It's like a recurring joke of they keep making the main guys like old, but like when he's basically with the self-defense force people. So it's like, yeah, imagine like everyone else is basically like army recruits right out of high school, essentially. It's like, yeah, you sort of get the thing at the same time, like it still feels weird, like just depressing sort of thing. But yeah, it's a great series. Like if you've seen Attack on Titan, sort of like it, like you very similar vein, but like not afraid to take itself too seriously at the same time.
Mhm.
Like I don't want to say one thing with like one character. There's a joke that just had me bawling in like episode 2. But yeah, I guess going on to stuff I've been up to, like yeah, not much media. Just catching up some anime. The one big one I seen was like was Kaiju number 8. I'm gonna go through some other. I can't remember at the moment because I'm tired. It's midnight pretty much. I did like a Texas mini trip not too long ago. Just to visit like SeaWorld, San Antonio, and Fiesta, Texas. And also the Alamo while I was there, just because you have to sort of do that. I think game wise, I'm working steadily through Xenoblade X.
Ooh.
Yeah, working finally through Xenoblade X, which has been described as basically an offline MMO, and I'm just like 30 hours in, and I'm still probably like only halfway through like the main story. And I just finally got a mech, which started out being like, this sucks. And then it's like, okay, when we add a weapon to all the arm, like 6 weapons, like, oh, this is awesome now.
Now I feel the power. Oh, bang. Yeah. Delayed gratification. That's what Xenoblade X is.
Yeah, speaking of spin-offs, so yeah, Xenoblade X is definitely the weird spin-off, quirky spin-off. It's hard to describe everyone else, but yeah, I guess, Jen, you do have a Switch, so you could theoretically eventually try the Xenoblade series. They are now all officially on Switch, and
Oi. Jen, did you pass out on the other end?
Jen?
I was just thinking the same thing.
Boy.
Jen may be asleep.
Okay, well, should I try mine while we try to get her back for hers?
Sure.
Yeah. Then we need to be heading out soon because it's literally is midnight in a minute, and I have work tomorrow. Oh.
Yeah, we all got work.
Boy. Well, the first is that I'm losing DB Art, if you guys remember him. He got a job at an airline operating out of Texas, and he's gonna go.
I've seen that update. It's like, oh, I'm gonna be a TSA agent. It's like, what?
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, like.
I mean, it's an actual important job, to be fair. Just like.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks, but I suppose it was a long time coming. He never seemed like he was quite hitting his stride here, trying a little of this, a little of that, looking to find himself. So I hope this is what does it for him, honestly. Like, it's been my best friend since middle school, but yeah.
What part of Texas is he moving to again? Or
Was it San Antonio? I think he's moving to try to be close to his brother, so I'd have to look that up again. Where they're at. Oh wait, no, maybe. Oh, it was Austin. Austin.
Yeah, because I remember it's like I was thinking of San Antonio because I just got back from there. It's like, and it's like, no, it's not that. But yeah, it was just such a weird route now to just see pop up for him. It was like a TSA. Like that's because he was, I know, working like, wasn't it his family business of like shirt printing or something like that, or.
I mean, he started applying to this a while ago, and I mean, I thought that it was it had gone kaput, so like, or it was on indefinite hiatus or something. But I guess he stuck with it and got the job after all. Like there was a lot to like about it: the pay, the being treated like somebody kind of important, the fact that if he did get in Texas, then he could be close to his brother and his nephews and maybe start again there. So, I mean, yeah, we're all pulling for him. I'm just going to miss the guy, even if I haven't had as many chances to spend time with him lately. So I'm sure I'm going to be up many a late night contemplating that. But we did still.
Luckily,
okay.
Yeah, so luckily with the age of the internet, not with Skype, but you can still keep in touch.
It's true. Probably invest in some kind of a game to play with them over the internet, because it seems like that's the only way we ever like did much over the internet as opposed to just meeting up.
Ooh, gotcha.
Did celebrate his birthday with him recently. We saw the Minecraft movie, which
Let's go.
I sure was skeptical with a trailer that had to brag in 2025 that the guy made Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
But weirdly, I think I ended up liking it a little bit more than he did. Like, I was surprised at how up I was for that guy's humor. Like, because, I don't know, like, you forget, like, that kind of humor really hasn't been run into the ground too much. It's not like what iCarly humor where I said a stupid in a drawn out voice laugh track. Like, it's, I don't know, it got me way more than I was expecting.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of people doing the Jack Black thing besides Jack Black.
Yeah, and Jason Momoa in the movie, he comes off straight up like a character out of Napoleon Dynamite. He comes off like a remix on the karate teacher from that movie or something like that. So, I don't know. It worked kind of well, and meanwhile, he had the kind of reaction that had me like, what would you expect? Yeah, and then we went to the first Pirates home opener game, and I lost my streak of never going to a game that they lost in over 20 years, so I suppose that was a bummer, but I can't even be that mad. Like, the Pirates, and I managed to go to like 8 games in a row that they won over the span of a couple of decades, so, how many people can say that, right?
And me and Jenn, we may or may not be asleep right now. Yeah, we can sort of relate to that because Cincinnati Reds are more or less have been down since my entire like lifespan.
Pirates managers, am I right? Tried to go to a Magic event recently, was a little late to do anything meaningful there, so we went to the comic book store across the street. I intended
did you just get into Magic or re-got into it, or because I don't remember you mentioned it anytime recently?
I've been into Magic for about 3 or 4 years. My other friend Daryl kept the guy I tried to throw down with once a week to stay in shape and practice Tai Chi. He also decided he wanted me in his Magic group, and he kept asking and asking and asking until I said fine and bought my first Magic deck on the way to the event. And 4 years later, I have like 6 decks. And of course, I fell all the way down the rabbit hole.
I remember you telling me about that with like me talking about my friend group and you telling me about the magician group. It's kind of cool.
Magic the Gathering, not magicians, but yeah.
I used to play Magic for like a year and a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but greener pastures, greener pastures.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'm liking it all right, though, and a couple of friends. But yeah, this one might interest you. Well, actually, I wish Jenn were awake for this because she's the Junji Ito fan. But yeah, skipped across the street, and even though I didn't intend to buy any comics, because comics are some of the easiest things to read online for free, I decided, seeing Junji Ito's adaptation of Frankenstein, a book that I've contemplated reading, like the writing major in me refuses to die all the way. And then, opening it up, I decided, okay, I do need this in my house. Because what tipped it for me is like the original Frankenstein. Well, there's a lot of differences between the stuff we think of. Like bringing the monster to life is not really lightning striking and machines sparking, and it's alive! It's alive! It's more like, ungodly midnight hours and quiet rundown rooms and fingers massaging temples and fluids running through tiny tubes and an almost unceremonious "and then he awoke," followed by a very quiet "what have I done? This is not what I signed up for." And yeah, when I flipped through a few pages and saw that was what he was trying to do, a very atmospheric take, it was like, sold. And I will say for his take on it also that, for a guy who is known for being very, very edgelord, it was actually pretty sensitive. Like, let me ask you, how many times in any adaptation you've seen do you feel sorry for Victor Frankenstein?
Oh,
That's
interesting.
That's an interesting take.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, most people, I guess, correctly, and I think it's even kind of faithful to the original book to think of him as a bit the monster himself who does all this without thinking of the consequences of his actions. And maybe you feel a little sorry for the 1930s movie version because that guy is a more mature and humane human being, even if he also is used to explore madness and mad science and all that. But like, he's more like, I mean, fewer things are his fault in that version, but like, yeah, the book, not so much. But like this Frankenstein, even though he does all the things that book Frankenstein does, like, okay, I did not particularly think of Frankenstein as first of all, a kid, and second of all, a thriving university kid on the verge of discovering flippin' life, for that matter, like thriving and thriving until he gets to that line, like, okay, do I keep going or do I, like, let this just be the quirky little, all right, that's cute project that I did when I was in college, when I could in fact be the most important mastermind that humanity has ever seen, and like, yeah, just almost like unable to see the point where he has crossed a line where grave robbing might be a sign that he's crossed a line, because there is a reality, at very least in his mind, and maybe even just straight up a reality where he has solved the secret of life and made man immortal and solved all the woes of the world. And like, in that light, I do kind of feel for the guy who sees this creature awake, realizing he doesn't even know if it's sentient in the same way that he is or not, and yeah, going from determined to terrified on the flip of a dime. And yeah, I never saw him in that light. I never saw his brother and his fiance and his maid and his dad and even Captain Walton as anything other than chess pieces in the story, let alone dear and precious people who he stands to lose, who deeply mean something to him. So like, Junji Ito, props for being sensitive, especially since the back half of the book I bought, which is your other short stories, are very much back to the, edgelording and strange and kind of silly if you step back to think about it too far, and mildly sexist, and boy howdy.
Mildly sexist.
Yeah, that was much more like, yep, that's the Junji Ito I know.
But the photo I share is actually from Epic Universe's new theme park. They have a Dark Universe thing, which is based on Universal's classic monsters, and that actually is the real that's like their Frankenstein's castle. That's a real photo. That's not doctored.
Pretty pristine.
Yeah, and the whole theme of that is basically it's Dr. Frankenstein's great granddaughter and her creation, which I think is supposed to be actually her Frankenstein's monsters, like her father reanimated. So like it's more positive interaction with her monster than Frankenstein great senior.
That's funny.
Otherwise,
Dale Ever and I finally finished Batman Beyond.
Yeah, with the movie?
Yeah, well, we didn't see the movie. I mean, I've seen the movie before. I don't remember if she has. I think so. So I don't know if we're going to watch that just to say we did or whatnot. But I mean, yeah, the series like that, I watched that when it was on. And so, yeah, I don't know what the effect of seeing it all at once. Like, I was both surprised by how many episodes I had already seen and how many I hadn't, even though it's only a 3-season show and 13, 26, and 13 episodes. But okay, I think I agree that the top 2 episodes are what everyone says the top 2 episodes are: the return of Ra's al Ghul and the return of Mr. Freeze. Thematically, they actually really, really go together, and which is odd to say, but yeah, like they both comment on Bruce Wayne in his old age, and Terry McGinnis as the optimistic young new protege, because Mr. Freeze is someone who does want a life with an end. He doesn't consider his frozen immortality worth living even a little bit. He wants his life, he wants a life back, like in the sense that we have one, and the fact that the episode decides that, like, okay, even if there was room for him to not have to be Mr. Freeze, like, it happened because of who he, like, that is part of who he is deep down, and he can't escape those sins of his past and all that. So yeah, that's one angle for that to fall. And then Ra's al Ghul is very much the opposite. He considers death the worst thing that could happen to somebody. He considers it something to master, no matter what he has to sacrifice along the way. So, like, yeah. The end of the Mr. Freeze episode is Bruce being like, almost seeming to think he was almost too right and feeling the need to give Terry a pat on the back, like, no, you were right too. He did redeem himself a little bit in the end there, and Ra's al Ghul is almost like, Bruce Wayne's turn to be humbled, like.
Yes, the Ra's al Ghul episode is like, we're not going to spoil anything, but just watch it.
Yeah, where he's like, okay,
Hold on, Jen, are you awake?
Yeah, what happened?
Welcome back to the party, Jen.
Jen, let's go!
All right.
We're talking about.
Okay.
So we're talking about like him and Day just finished Batman Beyond the series.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. The 2 best episodes are the return of Ra's al Ghul and the return of Mr. Freeze. And I think I go the slightly unorthodox route of siding with the return of Ra's al Ghul as my favorite, even though fans seem to lean more towards Freeze, just because, honestly, even though for most of it I was like, I might have spoiled it for myself with the fact that I used to watch this one so much back in the day. I don't know if it's connecting with me, but by the end I was like, actually, I kind of realize why this is the episode I think about the most. So, and I do think I have to side with it.
But I do feel I need to give honorable mentions to the Justice League Unlimited one.
Well, don't spoil anything there because people are going to watch Justice League. But there is a Justice League episode that just straight up predates all the Justice League shows in Batman Beyond, where he's asked to join the Justice League of the future.
And that was actually, I was going to say, the other thing to give justice to is that episode, which it's very interesting to see basically a future Batman interacting with a Justice League like force. And yeah, I was actually literally just going to mention those episodes too. Is like, yeah, those are. It's not like the most deep episodes, but like it just feels right.
Yeah, well, honestly, I give them big credit. Like, it took me a second to think about, like, oh, is this one just another adventure? Or is it just something? Is there something to it? And big credit for making the entire Justice League feel foreign, feel unwelcoming and distant and emotionally distant. And yeah, it is kind of the story of Terry as an underdog, a massive underdog and a newbie, and very much trying to make it feel like he's playing a little out of his depth, even though it's called Batman Beyond, so of course he's the one who has to step up and save the day. But yeah, just like very, very well played for what it is. That one came within a hair's breadth of my top 10. Daylover and I, we actually straight up ranked all our favorites, and we both have a top 30 list, basically.
Yeah, on my to-do list is to get the entire box set of that series, because it's just such a moment in time series where, like, it generally, like, it did the one thing that no other series has ever, comic or other series have been able to successfully do, which is give another Batman that's not Bruce Wayne that's actually popular. Because, like, they've tried it a lot, from everyone from Gordon to, like, gosh, not Tim Drake, what's his, the first Robin,
Nightwing.
Nightwing trying to Dick Grayson to do it, and like they keep trying, it just doesn't work. But like Terry just actually worked as I mean, I could go on a big discussion for a while, and I need to leave soon because it's very late. But like what I feel like made Terry's Batman work is like he's not Bruce Wayne's Batman. He's a different Batman for a different era, and it works because he fundamentally isn't trying to do the same thing that Bruce did. Like he's not like striking fear and villains. He's more like a Spider-Man, like super cop figure.
He's an optimistic kid. He has a lot in common with Bruce, but he has a lot of ways that they're different as well.
Which works because
which
works because Gotham is not the same. Like it's jokes about like, oh, Gotham's so horrible. Like it's not the same. Like Gotham, for the most part, has been successfully redeemed. It's mostly like even all the criminals. Most of the criminals are like, yeah, there's little punk gang jokers, but they're just essentially like punks. The main threat.
I thought the start of the series was trying to say that it was lower than ever, and even Wayne Enterprises is being
but think about
by a guy by Lex Luthor 2.0 or something like that.
But I'm saying it's better than ever in some ways, because before Gotham was just chaotically like gang violence all over the place, a whole bunch of nut jobs doing random like things. Now like the biggest crime in the city is like is corporation crimes, because even besides like the main villain, Richard Powers, trying to take over Bruce Wayne's company and all that, besides that, like pretty much all the crime is done by companies hiring other criminals to go after other companies' stuff. And so it's like it's a very different theme, because like the gangs are significantly doing everything's because, well, besides Batman, like the police force is now a lot more functional.
The gang called the Jokers are a little bit of a joke. They're just punks who annoy you.
Yeah, and like so, like that's saying it's a very different style. Like, and like this is a much more like redeemed. Like they're still flawed. It's basically a rich but still flawed city compared to before, where this basically when Batman took over, like in that Timverse, it's like it was straight up about to collapse at its worst. But like Batman did succeed. There's like it's basically he couldn't ever get fully rid of crime. Like that's sort of the whole crux of it. But like he did make progress, and especially under the new Commissioner Gordon watch, like the city is better. Like it is a super mega like one of the best cyberpunk cities in existence, like in depictions.
Sort of.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, like, it seemed like the formula for new Batman Beyond villains was to give them 3 episodes. Almost all of them got like trilogies. It was kind of funny, or a couple had to settle for duologies, or at least one was like, actually, no, let's not bring him back. But, yeah, like, it's hard to say who the best pure character was. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not the one who I'm going to give the shout out, but I straight up think the best trilogy went to Shriek, the sound villain.
Ooh, Shriek.
He was.
He was played like such a villain of the week, like a guy who, Derek Powers basically turned into a hired gun. Like, no, I think your ideas are stupid and impractical. Become my assassin instead. Okay, but like, he was an overachieving villain of the week. Just all 3 of his episodes are absolutely bomb. Like, Babel.
Yeah, it just feels like he goes from like basically a converted petty criminal working for Powers to like his tech to becoming more and more a supervillain. Like as things go,
gets angrier and more obsessed, and that's basically all. Like his whole character right there. He just from deciding he kind of likes being a hired gun with power to now wanting revenge on Batman, and it's But like his episode Babel, that is my pick for the 3rd best Batman Beyond episode. Like that was heavy stuff.
But also going with Powers himself, like Powers was actually he really stood out because he worked both as a financial like Lex Luthor like villain and also as like a straight up threat villain once he sort of embraced his radiation.
Yeah.
Although he's out of the show faster than you realize. Apparently they got a note like, forget it with the old guys. Like his final appearance, his big climax, is the final episode of season 1. And then his son who betrays him in that episode shows up a couple of times after that, but like, and they reference him.
He also has that great line though, like it's like, "You killed my father."
It's like, everybody say, you have even the slightest idea how little that narrows it down
to. And like, God, that man.
Like he was just such a delightful villain because like the villains, like I said, of Batman Beyond, they aren't like the same sort of themed, like sort of mentally unstable villains of like the original Batman. It's more like they're more professionals and they're more like they have a theme maybe, but it's like that's sort of the tech they use. Like we want to Shriek. He eventually
beat people, yeah.
But Powers really sort of started to become more of the classic Batman like super villain. It was this delight. He was just such a delightfully just great villain, and yeah, that's a series.
I wanted more of him because, like, the Mr. Freeze episode is straight up one of his 3 biggest appearances, like him pulling out the blight powers and throwing them around and declaring that he shall be a blight upon the land. Like, after that, he's mostly in the background, maybe sending out hired guns until his big denouement where he's revealed to the whole world and betrayed by his son, and do you have the slightest idea how little that narrows it down and all that? Like, I feel like they really could have used more of him. It is a shame that they got the note to keep him out of it.
Also, one thing I will say is, like, it is a crime that we never got that live action, like, the concept they were working on for a live action version of Batman Beyond, which, I think, who was the original, like, 89 Batman's actor?
Michael Keaton?
Yeah, those rumors of Michael Keaton as, like, an older Bruce Wayne. And it's like, oh, gosh, like, that would have been so good.
I guess we technically did get him as an old Bruce Wayne, but damn, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been way too perfect. The first live action Batman in a movie from a movie.
Yeah. Is it weird to say that I would have been at least interested to see what George Clooney could have done with old Bruce Wayne?
I feel George Clooney did, like, I can't feel he could have had a very distinct style of Batman, but he just got ruined by the script he gave. Like, I feel he could have gotten like a modern interpretation of like the 60s Batman show, or like, but like less comedic, but more like golden age humor sort of thing, if that makes sense.
He was asked to do. I mean, George Clooney can be a badass. He can be slick and cool and cocky and confident and all that. And I mean, I don't know. Like, you see him in The Descendants. I was weirdly like, wait, George Clooney is now selling me on himself as a like charismatically grumpy old man. Like, geez, maybe he could do old Bruce Wayne.
But yeah, I think we need to start wrapping up because it's 12:30.
Yeah. Let's end this.
Okay, last thing on my wish list to bring up: the Weird Al biopic. It's free on Roku, and you don't even have to sign up for Roku to watch Roku. You just have to watch a couple commercials like YouTube. Fucking see it.
Yeah.
That movie was hilarious.
All right.
Before we head out, though, you have any announcements or anything, Jen?
I think Jen might be asleep again.
Oh my god. It was
that's the time it is, because it is at this recording 12:26. So good night, everyone, and try to at least get some sleep.
I have alarms. My mom forced me to set an alarm for 2 in the morning just to make sure I at least wouldn't go to bed at 5 in the morning again. So hey, I'm at least going to bed at 2. Let's go.
Good night.
Last Skype session.
Yeah, last Skype session, but not the last
Skype session.
but not the last podcast thing. I don't know what the next episode's going to be, but yeah, it's not going to be as much of a gap, hopefully.
Peace stars.
Mm-hmm.